people with supernatural powers like casting real spells, flying on broomsticks, or manipulating nature through magic. There is no scientific evidence that powers such exist. So you admit you can't prove that they don't. Welcome back to our second episode on witches. Let's start off with a simple one. And I'm kind of curious at what the differences are between a person identifying as Wiccan and the myth of witches. The distinction between a modern Wiccan and the myth of a witch lies in history, belief systems, and cultural perception as well. While both involve associations with magic or nature-based spirituality, their origins, practices, and social meanings are very different, and it gives us a detailed breakdown, okay? Now, let's draw the distinction immediately. One is a myth, one is an actual practicing religion. The myth of witches, the idea of a witch, comes from the blend of European folklore, Christian demonology, and ancient fears of harmful magic. And a Wiccan is a 20th century pagan religion formally established by Gerald Gardner in the 1940s and 50s. It draws inspiration from pre-Christian Europe, paganism, and ceremonial magic, the nature-based spirituality, but is not a continuation of any unbroken ancient witchcraft theology. In the beliefs of practices, witches were believed to worship Satan, harm others through curses, fly on broomsticks, shapeshift, and attend Sabbaths with demons. And Wiccans worship a goddess and god, sometimes a pantheon of deities, celebrate seasonal festivals, lunar rites, and honor nature's cycles. Okay, so I think I've kind of known all along Wiccans unfairly associated with the myth of witches. If you want to take another look or a closer look at this, the prompt will be available for your copy and pasting convenience right there at the bottom. But now I want to do a little something more complicated. All right, so now I'm working on something a little more complicated. I wanted it to generate a report based on the Salem Witch Trials. And I wanted to know some very specific details about the Salem Witch Trials. I also wanted it to be written by and for a 10th grade audience at a 10th grade reading level. And let's just take a look at the introduction to start. Between 1692 and 1693, a crisis of accusations, trials, and executions took place in Salem Village, now Danvers, Massachusetts. Dozens were accused of witchcraft, 20 people were executed, and many more suffered loss of property and reputation. Scholars have studied Salem Witch Trials using careful archival research, demographic analysis, medical hypothesis, and modern theories of social contagion. This report uses peer-reviewed and research-based sources to explain the setting, test competing explanations, compare Salem to other witch hunting events, and assesses how history might have changed if Salem's outcome had been different. Yeah, this is a very complicated prompt. It took me a few tries to get this one right. So first we started off with the setting, religious and political backgrounds, which mattered most, which had the most impact on the event. In the second section, other examples around the world, whether Salem influenced them, and some European example, early and modern European witch hunts, a modern example, contemporary accusation in parts of Africa. Did Salem influence these events? And section 3, how did the Salem Witch Trials alter historical events? And counterfactual. And section 4, scientific explanations tested by research. And then finally the conclusion, I did ask it to provide a judgment on whether how historical events could have been altered had things turned out differently. All in all, Here's the, I asked it for 5 different resources. Turn this into a, I can, all right. Let's try it this time, because last time, I'm gonna try to turn this into a 5-page Word document. I tried this last time with vampires, and I ran into my data, the end of my data. Let's see what happens. All right, it's going to give it a shot, but this is the point last time where I did run out of data for the day with the vampires. And you see, it did it. We have our Salem Witch Trials paper. I'm downloading it now. I want to take a look at it and see what it looks like. Pull it up here for you. Hold on one moment. There it is. Yeah. Now, it looks like you'll need, I did not specify to format this in MLA formatted style or APA. But, I mean, that's only going to take me, what, 5-10 minutes tops to do that? So pretty impressive stuff, ChatGPT. All right, that about wraps it up for our first shot at witches. We'll probably return to most of these topics. I anticipate maybe doing some more with witches. Until then, don't look under your bed.